welcome back to my tutorial. Let's finish this little lady. Okay, so I kind of went a little bit ahead because you don't want to see me doing the whole body. So basically what I'm doing today is overkill because I'm cheap and I don't want to go to the store to buy things that would make this project probably easier, but I want you to, unless you're like me and have a bunch of random things like this in the house. So here's what I'm doing in this case. So I'm red is just what I had. I'm using tissue paper. So I had already, in our first video, we constructed the body, got it prepped for this stage of the tutorial, which I'm getting to. And basically what I wanted to do here is just cover it in, I was gonna use paper towels, but I was looking at the paper towels that I bought and they have way too many like designs on it. Like it's not just like a flat paper towel, like it has all those little quilted things in it. And I was afraid, I'm about 85% sure that would show up when I would paint this. You would see like the divots of the little quilting things in the paper towels because it's one of those fancy bounty ones. So I just got some tissue paper just so I can have like a flat canvas that's all one color. I am to put this on. Remember I told you I would be switching between like different types of glues and pastes to put this together. So for this I diluted a bunch of, I made a little bit too much, but I put about a huge glob like that of Elmer's glue and then the rest of it with water so I could have like a consistency of half and half for your coffee. But please don't drink this. So that's the consistency you're looking for. It's a little runny, but it works really well to like paste the tissue paper to your base. And then after this dries, since I thought I had spray paint primer, but I don't. But I do have this. I have the Kills Original Paint Primer. And I have paint brushes. What the heck, I'll use it. And this is just to prime it. It'll paint the whole red thing white, get it all uniform, one color. And that's like, it's a stain blocker, and I'm hoping that will also translate to like the inks in the newspaper, because I can still kind of see some of the wording on the newspaper now that I've covered it with the red tissue, but with the blocker, I'm hoping that will just completely just make this one flat white, non-transparent. I could see what the daily vegetable specials was on the newspaper for what I used on this mold or this bust here. Also in the last video, I did not say this, and I'll say this now because you could still totally do this. I got some white duct tape and I wrapped the entire bottom part of this. And my reasoning for doing that is because, you know, at some point plastic gets really old, and if you hit it, it could just crack like pieces of glass and fall apart. And obviously I have sand in here. That would be a very sucky cleanup day in the far future whenever that happens, and it probably will happen. So I kind of thought of this like the way when glass is breaking, people will put duct tape on the glass so when it does break, it kind of breaks in one piece and everything's kind of still stuck together other than like pieces flying all over the place. So that's kind of my thought process for this. Also, before I continue covering the head, just to show you, because I know some people like to see that stuff, I have, and this is where it's up to you, but I have a ton of different paints to paint it. So I'm basically just going to paint her from like the waist up, and then all this part, all this white, that's going to be covered. I do have some fabric. I'll have some hot glue. I'm going to make like a puffy skirt bottom, do some cutesy stuff there. And then remember I told you, because I couldn't make hands, I have a lot of fake flowers in my house. I'll just cut and make a little bouquet, and then I'll glue it here. But that comes much later. So let me go ahead and finish this part. You don't want to, if your glue is the consistency of like half and half, you don't want to get it too saturated, because then now you're going to start messing with your paper mache layer, and you don't want it to get too soggy. So just kind of wet it a little bit to paste it on there. I'm not dipping my brush again because there's still some glue on this, and I'm just going to stick it down. And as you can see, it starts to stick down. So like I see these all the time. I mean, you could go the route I'm going with and just mix a bunch of different random scraps that maybe you've been hoarding in your craft arsenal. I've also seen these and they do it all in paper. They do paper mache, kind of all of it. So like the skirt bottom in paper is like hard as a rock, obviously. But you can do that. You know, you can make flowers with tissue paper, regular paper. If you have a Cricut machine, my God, go nuts. I've considered getting a Cricut machine, but I just don't think I would use it that much for its price point. Just, I don't know. It's just not worth it to me yet. So I'm still cutting stuff by hand and patterns and stuff like that. So just kind of like brush and get the edges like tacked down, because if you kind of go back up on the edges, you're gonna lift it off your base, and that's not what we're trying to do here. I am not dressing up this Halloween because, you know, just COVID just burned my fire out for Halloween. There's just no point. My city has banned it. In fact, they're going back into restriction mode like we were back in April and March, or March and April, if I go in order. So yeah, this is as close as dressing up as I can get. My freaking doorstop. I would have preferred the paper towels, but like I said, I mean, I like the texture, but I have too much of fancy paper towels right now for me to like the outcome of what the texture would look like. And you know, just kind of like check all your spots. If you see any, like I see some spots where I still see newspaper, I'm just gonna cover it up. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. No, you can't see this, but this was kind of sticking up. So I'm just gonna stick that back down. Also, when I went into my garage right now to like pull out all my stuff, so my plan still, once we're done with this, is I'm doing the diluted glue to put down our base texture. Then when we're completely done painting, I'm not talking about the primer either, like completely done, before I add on the fabric, fake flower, accessories, things that are not paper painted on, I'm going to use a acrylic clear coat, and I was looking in my garage and I have a lot of them. It's up to you. They do sell clear, glossy, semi-gloss, or matte varnishing sprays for this. I just have, like, I think mine are like semi-gloss or gloss clear coat. Again, I'm just being super cheap because I craft all the time and I just have all kinds of junk in on my shelf in the garage. So I'm just trying to save my money right now. So yes, inexpensive crafting, yes. A lot of little parts are still sticking up, and that's okay. Here we are with this. I'm going to let this completely dry. Then once it's ready, if you have it, if you take my advice and buy white primer spray paint, go ahead and do that once it's dry. I will be painting this with a brush with that. Oh, also, when you make this, you know, use something that is disposable. This glass cup of mine is disposable. I'm gonna throw it away. And then I also had some leftover chopsticks from Chinese takeout to stir this. I don't want to wash any of this. Let's just make the project just easy on everybody. You know what I'm saying? So let's let this dry and then we'll continue. Okay. So here I am, just kind of going over the painted part. You did paint it black. Just showed you what I've done so far with the painting. Just showing you on one side I completed the arm bones. So you have like the one here at the top that connects to your, what is this, the ulna? I don't know, anatomy, Jesus. But I mean, you see what I'm doing here, right? So I have like the thick bone. I'm gonna do it on this other side so you can actually see what it looks like as I'm painting it. I'm only using Q-tips and one paintbrush. I don't have anything fancy while doing this, so I'm just gonna make the connecting bone to the shoulder area here. I'm trying to make it even. I want to make sure that it is even because it'll look nuts, I think. More nuts if something's off. So I'm just doing like some long phallic shape at the top. Just kidding. I have a terrible sense of humor. Anyways, there's that part, like an upside down heart at the end. And then when I continue with the next bone connection, I'm going to make it look like a proper heart. And that's supposed to be like the two connecting bones. I did glance at an anatomy diagram while I was doing this. I was going back and forth looking at it just so I could try to be a little bit more accurate, but you know, it still looks cartoony in the end, but I want to just be somewhat right. I'm just doing the separation of the bones in the arm. Then I'm going to meet it at the end, and then you're going to see me do the little parts of the hand. Even though they really won't be seen, I didn't think it was too bad of an idea to paint on the little hands. So if you did kind of peek under it, you can see, well, oh, look, there's fingers that's holding the bouquet. Again, just going with the idea, better to have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. And there you go. There's my little hands right there. Okay, so back again, another day, another night. So, I mean, the painting part was pretty self-explanatory. I know I kind of went over it, the steps that I did. So I'm not done painting yet. I do have to do the mouth, but this is what I have so far. And I was thinking, as I was doing this, because I was looking at pictures online, like how should I do the Catrina face, and there's so many ways of doing it, and like these figurines, they're usually handmade. I mean, like if they're handmade, like that's like a legit, like you want that kind, you know what I mean? And they all have their flaws, and it's like art, like artisan work, and they all have their flaws, and they're not perfect. So that's a great excuse also to do this tutorial, because I can't really paint or draw, but because this art allows flaws, which make it look pretty cool, I think, if you know what I'm saying. not so much the excuse that I can't paint, but like if you look at these a lot online, you'll see that, you know, stuff's not even, or it's super, nothing is intricately painted. It's just like, you know, like a skeleton face, and then the clothing it wears is like very intricate and stuff. So I think that helps if you're not very painting artist savvy like I am. So I was gonna paint some real basic, like just like squarish looking teeth. I'm not sure yet if I want to give it eyebrows. I saw a lot online that had eyebrows, and I was like, do I want to give it chola eyebrows? I'm still on the fence about it. Finished product may have chola eyebrows. I don't know yet. And that's a great thing about this tutorial. Once you get to the painting part and the decorating, it is all up to you. You really can't mess this up. If you mess it up, paint it black again, start over. It's like makeup. Like when you mess up on makeup, you try and put concealer to like clean up the messy parts, or you just wipe it all off and start over. And that's a good thing about this project too. So as you can see, like I did end up following like a human anatomy skeleton diagram, because I just wanted to kind of get at least this part right. I do plan on putting clothing like up to here, but I mean, if you're, I would just say it's better to go nuts if you have time and do like most of the skeleton very detailed, and then choose to cover it up with clothes, rather than you make the outfit and then it's showing certain parts that you didn't do the skeleton in, and now you have to paint it and you have to get around like the outfit so you don't mess up the outfit. You know what I mean? So it's just better to do it this way now. I doubt I'll show most. I'm gonna see if I can get this popsicle stick. And another great thing that I had on hand that I didn't think of, because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to use the kill, what is it, the primer that I had, the white primer. And then I had this acrylic paint, which is, what I got? Oh, it's called Ivory. And you know, technically bones aren't white, they're a bone color, they're like ivory. So this, for me, it worked out perfectly. So I'm gonna try and get some, what do you call it, the ivory paint on like the edge of this popsicle stick, and I'm gonna try and like separate the mouth, like just blot it and see if that works. And like I said, if I screw up, I'm just gonna have to paint it black and start over. But is this long enough? Hold on. See, I'm just trying to. Yeah, in this channel, we just do what we got. It's the worst channel ever. Change my mind on things constantly. There's no set method to this. So let me try and stamp across the mouth here. Let me just dab it. You know, it worked. Let me try and get this across. Not bad. I'm not mad at this. That works out pretty good. Same thing, and I'm gonna try and, let me make this a little shorter. Okay, so I'm gonna make this like really short, and I'm gonna try and stamp the lines across for the teeth. I've made the partition, now I just need to make the teeth. And let me see if this works. I'm gonna go straight down the middle. Did it. Let me try this again. Except now it's kind of like, there's a little bit too much. And it wants to drip ever so slightly. So I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to make it stop so it doesn't like dribble all the way down her chin. Okay, I don't think it will now. Let me dab some more paint. You could have even done, like, I didn't have ivory puffy paint, but like if you have fabric puffy paint, that would have been like a really good option as well. Let me flip this. It's a little uneven on this part. Oh, I moved. Like I said, I'm not gonna trip on these little imperfections because the fun part is coming up. And that for me is doing the actual outfit. I mean, you all watch this channel, you know, like I like to sew and make outfits and things like that. So see, like there's a little mouth coming along. But I'm super excited to show you this. So here's all the decorative stuff. So like I said earlier, you could do the whole outfit in paper if you're like a paper crafter. You would have to still varnish it or whatever to keep it protected, but you could totally go that route. I have fabric and I'm not that great with paper, even though I think this is a very good thing, but I'm gonna stick with what I know, at least for the outfit part. And I have a bunch of fabric. I have that. I have some black, like Christmas tinsel, like it looks like a boa, like a feather boa, but it's like those Christmas tinsel things, like for a Christmas tree. I also have a ton of laces and trims that I want to use. I have some black ones. I have some like vintage bias tapes. What else do I have? I have a ton of stuff, like a bunch. Also, so I wanted to give her like a big black poofy gown, and like I'll have a video of this, right? Like it'll just be time lapse. You'll see me. And I have some. I have all black. I also have this beautiful trim. Like this is vintage too, and I really like this one. Like I really like this one. So I'm probably gonna use it somewhere. She's gonna have it because this trim is freaking awesome. What else do I have? I just have a ton of stuff, you guys. So the decorative part is at your discretion. Look up Pinterest. Take inspiration from my finished Catrina. So now I'm just gonna finish having that dry. Then I'm going to go outside. And like I said, before we start doing if we're done here at the paper part, the dress, before we do all the clothing and decorative gluing on stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and varnish her outside in clear coat. You don't wanna do that inside at all. It's really bad to breathe in. So yeah, next part will just be me decorating her dress. Okay, so I think the plan of action is I'm gonna try and keep it like with the trim, white, black, and yellow. I found some yellowish fake flowers in the kitchen. And I think what I'll do too is I think I'll have her wear like a veil, because like a lot of like old tradition, like in Catholicism, like when you go to church, you'll cover your hair with a veil. So I think I'm gonna cover her hair with a veil. So that's what I think I'll do. And I think I'll take one of these laces that have like these flowers all over it, and I'm going to try with the hot glue gun make puffy sleeves. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try that.